Hello and welcome to Make Up a Story. I'm Alba and this is...
I'm Brandon.
How are you doing today, Brandon?
I'm really good.
Yeah?
We are back.
It took you a while to get here as well.
I think that's the worst part today was getting here. It's all about strikes. But I think we can do an episode about transports in London because...
Yes, we live in London, by the way. I think it's good to mention. And yes, buses and the tube is just not great here. But, welcome to my home. I hope you like it.
And now let's roll the intro. Okay, so today we are doing the first podcast.
Yes, first episode.
Yeah, I'm Brandon. I'm a video editor, filmmaker, and you as well.
Yes, I'm a filmmaker.
Well.
I think I'm a storyteller. I think that's why also the name of our podcast is Make Up a Story,
yeah,
right?
That's right. We make up stories in our lives all the time.
All the time.
So we thought okay, let's make a podcast and we just make up a story in each podcast. And let's talk about the things that are happening in our lives. And maybe we can help some people around, I don't know.
Yeah, we live in London. It took us a while. We've been a while here. I have my very first flat for myself, which I'm really proud about.
You can see it. For the people who are watching it, you can see it in the background. Like you have a lot of things. I think one day we have to do an episode of all the things that you have in the house.
You know what? I want to make a TikTok saying how much everything was, like each single thing, because I didn't pay that much as well.
Yeah, did you have a hack? No, because you go to an app that is for free or something like that.
It's called Free Cycle. Yes, I just.
You're sponsored by Free Cycle now?
I'm not, but they have helped me so much. And I've also helped other people, so it feels really nice. Because in London, people move so much that,
that's true,
you just go with it. Like, you just help people and other people will help you in the future. So that has been genuinely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you already moved the house. Like, how long just being in this house? 3 months, 4 months?
May, June, July. Yeah, 3-4 months.
I remember the first month, because I helped you. We took the van and we came here. We got lost. We end up in Heathrow Airport. We moved.
Don't give away where I live, though. I live in West London. Surprise.
But yeah, I remember that day, and we were just with the van, and we were just coming here. And every time you would see something on the street, like people, they are moving houses, and they just put the things for other people to take. And you were like, "Oh, let's take that one." And we took one thing, no?
Yeah, but it wasn't for me. It was for my friend who was driving the van. Remember?
Ah, okay.
It was like a coat hanger or something. I don't have it here. So
it was really good.
It was really nice, and I've also got that shelf over there that is right behind the camera as well. I got it from my neighbors. So I was walking down the street at like 8 p.m. at night.
How do you get that thing in the house?
And I saw it. It's literally just across the road. So
it's huge.
I know. I did it myself as well. I'm very proud. Anyway, I just literally like ring their doorbell. And they like answer being like, hello, like super suspicious because it was 8 p.m. Yeah. And I was like, sorry, I've just seen this shelf. Do you mind if I take it? And they were like, yeah, absolutely. And suddenly there were like 2 people speaking behind it. Like they started from being super suspicious to like, yeah, of course, no problem. Like just take it. It's a bit old. I don't think I'll take it to my next place. But it's definitely helping here for storage and stuff.
I mean, it's a good thing that you did. Like you said, you're helping other people because that's the main thing in London. People move so much and they go back to their country. So they just move a house in London. And then it's like they cannot take with them the things that they bought and things from IKEA or things like that, or even maybe it's not worth for them just taking it because it's cheaper to buy a new one. So it's good that you're helping the environment on that side.
Exactly, yeah. Like you just reuse, and I think that's amazing.
Like now that I'm seeing this, like let's do just how many things in this place you bought new. Apart from deco, because I know you bought the frame.
I bought the frame cool. And I bought the print. That other thing you can see. This was new.
There you go. Did you paint it? Or?
Yes, I painted it.
Okay.
That was, my coffee table was also new, but it was in the bargain section of IKEA.
Oh, wow.
So it had discount.
All right. That works. It's almost the same thing.
My TV was new as well. That was it.
Oh.
Is everything you have at home new, though?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, my God. No, I couldn't. I just, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of different for me to... If I see something like I went on Free Cycle because I went the other day and they were giving like boxes of sound music that for a show that they were doing, and these boxes they used to travel with all the cables and all the things. I was like, oh, maybe for the podcast I can take one of these
like
boxes.
flight case or
Yeah, big ones. They were really big,
Nice.
so that's why I didn't take it. But no, in my house I think everything is new from IKEA, but it's new. Yeah.
But that's new. But I mean, I guess you have furniture from the previous tenant as well.
Yeah, most.
That's
of
the thing.
house,
For my house, I had to buy everything. Not buy, but I have to get everything. So
Yeah.
there is no way I'm gonna furnish a house that I can get kicked out of.
No way.
Like everything new, no way.
No, but
Literally.
it's good that you're doing that. Like, I know many people that are doing it as well, but
Yeah, exactly. I think it's key.
it's key. The main thing when I see you in the house is the plants. Like, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 plants.
Do you go to the kitchen?
Yeah.
There's
No, thank you.
There's like another 9 plants in the kitchen. I don't know if they're 9, but like I have 5 for sure. I have 5 money plants, 3 basil, and 1 pepper plant. I don't know how you call it.
It's just amazing that you have so many things in the house. Like,
I am surprised they don't
the
die.
sunflowers are the ones that are in the back, no? Those are.
Yes, I had to cut them, but there is one little
Oh,
one
okay.
coming out now.
Well, yeah, they will not be coming out now in the winter, so.
Yeah, I know they're gonna last for like 2 more months max, and then that's it.
Yeah.
It's done. But yeah, how has the summer been for you in London?
Well, yeah, it's true. It's over now. It's almost September. So yeah, it's been good. It's been busy. I mean, I didn't take any holidays, so that's useful on me. I only went on holidays like 2 days. So
Yeah, I think. Well, you went 2 days with me.
that counts.
Yeah, that counts. Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a really good summer. I think we had like a really amazing weather. In a good and a bad way, because
Yeah,
it's
it
been
was
so
too
hot.
hot sometimes. Yes,
We
like
got for the first time in London to 41 degrees.
Yes.
So that was like a big thing.
So yeah, what story do you want to make up?
Yeah, I think in today's episode, the first episode, I think it's just because it's new and it's something new. We
Yeah.
can talk about like what it's like looking for a house in London.
Woo!
I think that the process of, because your process of getting the house was completely different than mine. You used a different space, and I took longer than you. You took
Yes.
less time than me.
Well, to be honest, no. I was looking for a house for over 6 months.
Yeah, but you had a house.
I had a house already, so it wasn't an issue. Yes, that's right. You didn't have a house. Tell us more.
Yeah, I think it was in total was 8 months in a hotel. I was living
That's
8 months in a hotel,
That's crazy.
paying almost the same amount that I pay in the house. So it's not really that a big difference. The only
Yeah.
big difference is the fact that you don't have a kitchen, you don't have your house, and every time you come in, there will be cleaning, and every week I will have to be moving the house.
The room.
The room, I will have to
Okay.
move it. So
Why?
it's just because
that?
by law they cannot allow you to be in the same room for more than a month. But because at the end of the day, I was so many months there, they always try to give me a new room just to
Keep you
let me
engaged.
try new rooms like this, and they made a really good price on me to be there, because I was paying really compared to the other hotels.
Yeah.
I was paying much less. But yeah, I was working and living in a hotel and then looking for a house.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So for you it's different because you were living in a house.
Yes. I have like a little studio, which to be honest, it was like this room as big.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's
It was a bit stressful, but at the same time, I was super happy that I didn't have to share bathroom or even a kitchen. I have a little kitchen.
but
and
you
I
were
have
almost
even an oven.
every time in the kitchen or with the people there or not.
I was, yes, but when you want to be on your own cooking and stuff,
Yeah,
it's
good to have
I
it.
used to do it on my own, and then when I wanted to actually go out and share stuff, then I would just share a good
Yeah.
time, enjoy, have a talk. Then I would go out, and it was really nice to hang out as well. It's something that I'm not doing now because I'm just
well, you're living
by
by yourself
myself.
now, and
that's
your
exciting.
flat. Because it's a big flat. This house is like
Yeah.
a really, really nice house.
To be honest, I'm really surprised because I don't know. Have you seen on TikTok where people is like, I'm flat hunting in London, and there is these massive houses that are like $2,000 a month. Well, not even that massive actually. Like, I'm like,
It's London. It's not
how can you afford that? Like, I know I was super lucky because my rent is relatively quite cheap.
Yeah.
I'm still paying a lot of money because it's London, but I was just so lucky, and yeah.
So let's get now to why somebody. How can we help people? Because we know people who are moving house. We know people might be coming to London in the future. So the idea of this first podcast is to help them, to guide them. No, so people will move to London because maybe they want to work, they have to work, or they need to come to London for some reason.
They might want to learn English as well.
Yeah.
There is a guy that I follow on TikTok. He just moved from Spain in February, I think. And he's so good, like, just see him evolve. It's so good. Yeah, honestly, I love him.
I have to check it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's moving to London. It's kind of hard because I was working abroad. I was in Spain, and then I was looking for a house. So I started looking for a house before moving back to London. Yeah. And so I already knew where I wanted to find a house. I wanted to be in the West area. I wanted to be like...
Let's talk about that as well. Because we love the West.
We love the West.
But
I think we are West people, yeah.
Most of the young people go to the East.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's, I mean...
Well, I know why.
I get it. It's
we
busier.
Are not in that part
mood,
of...
Yeah, in a part of life, I guess, in the path. It's busier in the East, and it's like there is a lot more of young people. I guess the West is more for like
the East,
families.
In the East you have Shoreditch, Hackney. No?
That's all you know about the East?
That's all I know about the East.
No way.
Well, I know you have more things, but
like what? This is a test.
This is a test. Liverpool Street Station. That's I know is there.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. You know I've lived in the East yet, right?
Yeah. No. I've been many times in the East because I went to Queen's Park. I used to go walking there. I used to go as well to the other Westfield. How is that one called?
Stratford.
Stratford, but it's called Stratford there.
I don't know.
Maybe.
You know I don't know. That was in the other Westfield. You know, I think I've told you this.
Ooh, let's see. Surprise me.
In the White City Westfield.
Yeah.
In the screens, they put a video that I edited. Yeah. I was a really proud moment.
Oh, well, I remember now, but I will tell you later. I remember one thing now you told that. But so yeah, the East people move there because there's more party, there's more art vibes maybe, which we like art and we like party, but we like to make the parties in our house.
Yeah, I think it's a different kind of vibe. I don't personally like going out every weekend. I do like it, like every now and then, maybe like twice a year.
Did you prefer to live in the West and go for a weekend to the East for a party?
That's the effort. Yeah, that's like the price that I pay. Last night I was in London Bridge and I cycled home for an hour.
People in the house now, they will be like, what?
It was like after midnight as well, so it was a bit crazy. But that's the price that I pay to live in a quiet area and have a bigger space.
I mean, it's always a balance of what you want, what you get, and what you pay,
and what you find, because you cannot always find exactly whatever you want to.
So we get to the point like we are West people. We are the West Coast. It's like Los Angeles and New York. We like Los Angeles.
You have basically lived. Well, I have no idea about the US. Sorry. You have only lived in like Camden area, right?
I lived in King's Cross. I lived in... First, I lived in Golders Green, which is in the north.
Yes.
Then I lived in King's Cross, and then I lived in Camden, and then I moved to West, which I live in Kensington area.
Wow. Should I tell you?
I know people, where every time I say Kensington to my family or things like that, they go like, oh my God, it's so posh.
It is posh.
Living in Kensington.
I agree, though. I agree.
I mean...
It's such a nice area, and I love it. I'm not like...
I know, yeah, but I understand that people would say posh because it's kind of like West. It still is kind of like you feel like you are in Notting Hill, but it's not really. It's like 10 minutes walk to Notting Hill.
That's so cool. How was the carnival though?
I didn't pass by. I saw just the queue of people and things like that.
But I can imagine there is still people nearby your house.
Yeah, they were partying, and this morning even there were like people with big speakers on the street. So
shit.
I thought it was only yesterday the carnival. I didn't know.
No, it's today and tomorrow.
My God, I've never been because I don't like. That's the point. I like the West. I don't like being surrounded by a lot of people.
Yes.
Like that's every time I see pictures. Many years ago, I remember seeing the carnival, and I was like, no, that's not for me.
I went when I had been like 3 months in here, my very first 3 months in 2016.
Bad idea.
I enjoyed it, but it was so overcrowded. Like, I remember the tube. I always used to change at Oxford Circus Station, like at like 8 a.m., like peak time, big time. I went to the carnival and it was like way worse than peak time. Like you had to be waiting, like you have to like walk from one line to the other, like 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
And it took like 5-10 minutes to just walk because you were like sardines, you know. It was mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've lived in the south, Streatham.
Streatham, yeah. Not for long, no? How long did you live there?
A year almost, yeah.
Okay,
No, over a year.
I thought it was much less than that.
I lived in Streatham in 2 places.
Yeah.
Then what did I
I've
do?
never been to Streatham, I have to say.
Like there's nothing to see.
Okay.
There was also
It's a good advice, people.
It's just a normal
Normal place
high
to live.
street basically. And like I was 2 minutes away from a Lidl. You know, I love Lidl, but that's not the point. The point is that there was a terrorist attack 2-3 years ago in that same Lidl. Like it was fucking scary.
But that was the one, stabbing.
Yes, right before lockdown,
okay,
I think.
So yeah, I know somebody who lives there. Then
really?
Yeah. One of my friends who used to work with me, she told me about when that happened. It was down her house, like only 1 minute away from that.
Yeah, exactly. That was crazy. Then I moved to Myland. I lived in 2 places in Myland as well, because I had a house and it was just so full of shit. Like there were rats in the garbage. It was just like so bad. There were people.
Where was that?
In Myland. Where?
Yeah.
Myland.
But I don't know what that is.
That's east. You see?
They say I don't know anything about the east.
It's a stop of the Central Line.
Oh God, I didn't know
so
that.
it's between Liverpool Street and Stratford.
Okay.
The area.
Okay, I get it.
And there were also people getting drugs in like underneath the staircase.
That's normal everywhere.
Yeah, but like, bro, like not in your fucking building. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
So I just left that house. I didn't even give my notice. I just left, like health and safety. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, exactly. So that was an experience, and then I moved to Southeast, to New Cross, and then I lived in front of the National History Museum for like 2 months.
But that was like a student house, no? That was like, yeah.
Yeah. So with it's a long story, but it's called guardianship.
Yeah. Which we will get to that because that's how you got.
I think, yeah, that also needs its own like podcast episode. But anyway, yeah, I was living in a guardianship with 70 other people. We had 2 kitchens, but like really massive kitchens. Mm-hmm. And we had a bar and we had a chapel.
Why do you?
Yeah, it was really great.
Why did you leave that place? Was it because it was too small, or
no? They kicked us out.
They sold the building. Or?
No, you don't know this story.
I don't know.
I was living in Spain because there was like a massive lockdown in the UK. So I was just living with my family back there, waiting for the lockdown to finish in the UK. And so these people, 70 people, yeah. There was
70 people. It's
70
a lot
people.
of people.
It was 6 floors of a really massive house. So of course, 70 people, lockdown, equal party.
Yeah.
And I was in Spain, so I couldn't have done anything. I did enjoy a few parties there, but I was like,
So they were kicked out because they were making parties during a time?
No, because they broke pipes while they were drunk and high.
God, welcome to the jungle.
I had to pay like £50 for that because they divided the amount into everyone.
Even though you were out.
I was in Spain. I didn't even fight it, to be honest. It was like, it was a relatively cheap place. And
yeah, but how can you be so
disrespectful?
Disrespectful of being like, do that, like breaking things, even if it's a rental or if it's a garden, it's whatever it is. It's just like.
I mean, there were like 70 people living there, but the parties would be like 150 people.
Yeah, that.
It was an experience.
That's way too much for me.
I understand. I fully understand. I didn't enjoy it so much, and I was there for only 2 months, and then they kicked us out. And I was in Spain right after surgery as well, because I had surgery in my shoulder, and I had to move my stuff from Spain over the phone with people. It was madness. So
the thing is, like, did they call you and tell you like, oh, you need to pay £50, or you found out? No,
they sent everyone an email.
Right. I mean, the good thing is that you were already out of that house at that time, but imagine people that they were really living there and they were not taking part of the party.
Yeah, probably like 90% of the people didn't do the pipe thing. It was probably like 2 people. and probably friends of someone living there. So not even, yeah, it's mad.
It's just I don't know.
It's crazy.
So well, you lived in quite different places.
Yeah.
And you shared the house in most of them. No, only in Stratham it was the one that.
No,
Did you share as well? That
yes,
one?
I did share.
You shared that one. So, yeah. I mean, I shared the first house, and I was living in a place when I was living in Golders Green as well.
Yeah.
I was sharing the house, the building with, I think it was 35 people.
Oh, really? I didn't know this.
Yeah, I shared the house the first 3 months of living in London.
Why
And
the-
then I was sharing my bedroom. I was sharing it with somebody else.
Really?
So I had to leave, and I came from Canary Islands. I came in December. I just wanted to change, and I came and I had to share. After living by myself for years in Canary Islands and having my house, my car, and everything, I left all of that and going back to London. Well, go for the first time to London and just share absolutely everything with people that you don't know. People, and as well finding a job. It was snowing, it was raining, it wasn't really the best place because people there were really like not really organized and clean, because all the people that were there, they were Spanish, Italian, French, and they were all like teenagers, like really teenagers, 18 years old. And
oh my God.
How long was smoking every time, partying every day. It was like,
how long do you last there?
3 months. And then I just
that's a lot though.
Yeah, because I didn't have money to move to another place.
Else,
so that place I was paying, I think, 500 a month.
That's a lot though, still, no?
Yeah, to be Golders Green, because then I remember I had to pay £120 for
transport.
The transport.
I did pay that as well.
So, yeah. So then I found a job in a hotel in King's Cross. So then I was just like, okay, I'm gonna try and live around this area. So I just moved there and I found a place, and that's the story of it. But yeah, I know what it is to be sharing and things like that.
Yeah.
And you have to go through that. I mean, I don't recommend it, but at the same time, I recommend it, because then you realize what you don't have when you have it.
You do value things more, I think, when
your space.
When you're sharing, you definitely then just like, when you have your own space, you're like, wow, like this is amazing. If you don't go through that phase of actually sharing with people, I think it also kind of opens your mind and it makes you more flexible.
Yeah.
Because it's you can go one or two ways, or you get pissed at them and you get into fights or arguments, or
100%.
you accept with like boundaries, but still accept what's going on.
That's the only thing you can do. But the thing is, like, I'm used to sharing because, as you know, I was working in hotels in Canary Islands, so I was being an entertainer. So I used to share always my room with somebody else. So even with girls, with boys, you just have to share.
It was like a hotel room?
It was a hotel room, so you have.
And would they give you food as well?
Yeah,
or?
I was really the best time. I was eating in the restaurant, in the hotel always. It's not.
Wow.
I was not eating in the cantina. I was eating in the.
Like a proper sit down. Or
proper sit down. The only bad thing is, like, when you are an entertainer, and we will talk about this in
another
podcast
episode.
We are making stories here, but when you are an entertainer in a hotel, you have 1,200 guests. You do shows, activities, and everything. For the people, you are a superstar. You're like a
famous person.
You're a famous person. And even me, like, I'm really loud. Like, people know me because I'm really loud. I'm screaming, I'm jumping. And when I was entertainer, I was the same or even more, but I had a microphone in my hand like 24/7. So people will know me every time. So when I was going to the restaurants, I couldn't have a lunch because the kids and everybody will come to me like, oh my God, Brandon, let me take a picture. Oh, I hope you enjoyed. So it was every time like that. So it's really cool. But at the same time, it's kind of like your life is...
Yeah, if you're going through a bad time, you cannot show it. You have to be on like working mode all the time, essentially.
Yeah, that's as soon as you walk through that door, you know. Wow. So that's why I know how it is to sharing all of that. But then I was like for 3 years not sharing, having my house, and then I go to London and it's like this thing, and you value the things more. So when I found that, it was really, really...
So what would be your advice to someone that just moved to London from any country, really?
I think my advice would be find an area that you want to... That's from my point of view. Find an area that you like east, west, just walk around and things like that. But first you need to go to a place sharing because you will
Yeah.
save a lot of money. So find a place that you can share maybe the building with not a lot of people, not 70 maybe, but
No, 30, but like a building, and that's crazy.
yeah,
Oh, sorry. I just kicked
but
this.
yeah, that will help you to save some money. And in a month, you will find a place. If you want to,
In a
do it.
month, you will find a place, but it took you.
I mean,
Or
it took
do you
me.
mean in a month you find a place to
In
share?
a month, you will find a place
To
that
share.
you will like,
Okay, fair.
an area that you will like.
Oh, an area, yeah.
Because I remember when I first moved, I remember I was like, okay, I will move to Golders Green because it's really, I didn't know anything about London. I've been to London once only, so I was like, okay, I know London a little bit. Golders Green looks really nice. They have transport and all of that. It wasn't a nice area. It was really far from London. It was really difficult because transports, when they are on strike or something happens, you only have one line. It doesn't work. You need to take the bus, and the buses are really slow.
Take quite a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then what you need to do is just find a place just to share with people for a while, and then while you can, just go to the east, see the areas, go and talk to people over there, go to the west, go to Clapham, go to the north, go to King's Cross.
Like East West Clapham.
I mean, the south is Clapham. Every time is the people talk about.
Streatham is south. Brixton
Yeah, I
is
know,
south
but
as well.
I don't know many people that live in Streatham. Brixton, I know one. Clapham is like 90% of people that I know live in Clapham. So I think it's like the big thing is Clapham, which might be nice. I don't know. I saw some houses there. They are really, really nice houses. It's just didn't like it. So that would be my advice.
Fair.
Would be your advice different or?
I think it's a good thing saying that sharing first for sure. Like it's gonna help you save money. But when you're like a bit farther down, maybe like you've been here for 6 months to a year, you're tired of sharing, there is always more options like guardianships. And I feel like there is always a gateway. I think you should always talk to the people you know. If you're looking for a place, ask them. And they might know someone, they might not. But I knew someone a few years ago who had a flat and it was relatively cheap as well. And they were like, if the tenant leaves, you're going to get in. And that would have been amazing because you get a flat from someone directly and you can probably get it super cheap. So I think it's always think that there is not only one way of doing things.
Yeah,
but
that's why I ask
ways.
you what would be your advice because it's different. Your experience will be different than mine, so you will recommend something else.
Yeah.
And people watching or listening to this podcast, they will go into like their own way of learning.
Yeah, it would be nice to hear as well how other people have experienced this.
Yeah, I mean, we can bring people that have rented a place in London.
Yeah, and also people can leave it in the comments what their experience has been because it's just so interesting. Like I love this topic and I talk for hours and hours with people about this.
I mean, people always ask me when I go back to Spain. I'm from Spain, by the way.
You haven't mentioned Spain enough times in this episode.
They always ask me like, oh, how is the house? How is the... Because they see the news and people when they talk about London, it's like talking about New York. Prices are going up. The houses are really small. There's rats everywhere or there's it's always like really, really bad things they say. But at the end of the day, your experience will be different than what you see in others. So my experience was I had tough times, 100%. Living in a hotel wasn't really that tough, but it's something that it takes a toll on you because you definitely go like, God. And then last year something happened in my family, so during Christmas I had to go back to Spain for some things, and I didn't have a house, so then I had to go back to Spain
and back to a
and
hotel.
then when I came back I had to go back to a hotel. So then I of course I was not gonna pay the room for 2 weeks that I was in Spain because it would be pointless. So I had to take my luggage to the place that I work and leave it there under my desk just like this and just take with me some things because of course I'm gonna be traveling with Ryanair, the cheapest way to get to Spain and then come back. And so when I was in Spain I was like, okay, it's a tough situation what I have here, but well, okay, I'm going back to London. But then it's like I remember like, oh God, I have to go back to the hotel. And it's not only that, it's just like then you have to think, oh, I have to keep looking for a place. Yeah,
it's really hard. Like looking for a place is, I think, one of the things that have given me more anxiety during the last few years. Yeah. There was one time that I was moving out. I gave my notice. and there was 1 week left, and I didn't have a place. And then I saw the place 1 week before, and instead of like 7 days, I think the place was available like 8 days after. So I had to ask one of my housemates to stay in her room, and we stayed in her room. And then
Well, at least you had a place that you could stay.
yeah, but it was madness. Like the anxiety that gives me, like the thing. So I can't really, I think, in a way, tell what you were going through, because it's like I have nowhere that I can call home. And still, when you have a place in here, especially if you're sharing, you cannot really call it home, if that makes sense. You don't have your things where you want them. You're like in a really probably tiny space with all the stuff you have, and it's really tricky.
I mean, the thing is, like, anybody who is listening, anybody who lives in London or has lived in London, I think has gone through this.
Yeah.
For sure, everybody has gone through the
You know what I would love to know about as well? What is buying a house? 'Cause I have literally no idea, and I would love to learn. And
I know I was talking. I don't know anything about buying a house, but I know that I was talking to people, and they were talking about like the numbers, what you need to pay for a house.
Really? Do you know that?
Yeah. So it was kind of like if you have to pay 400. I don't know the numbers now, but a house will cost like maybe 250,000.
Mm-hmm.
They will have to give. Usually, it's like in Spain, it's the 15%, no, or the 10% of the house. I have no
idea.
So you have to. So you have, let's say, 100,000 for a house, which that's not the price. You will have to pay to the bank first £10,000. So that would be the minimum you have to pay to that, and then you need to show that you can pay the rest over the 30 years you have the mortgage. But we were talking about London, and they were like, no, in London it's different. It depends in the banks, but as well the government and things like that. So like they were buying a house for 250 or something like that, and they had to pay like almost £50,000 as an entry for a house. £50,000. There were two people, but still, it's like 25,000 each.
Yeah.
It's that all your savings going to a house, and then what do you do? Like you cannot buy anything else. You cannot buy food.
It's very tricky.
So like,
I think it's like 5 to 10%, but because in here, like the deposit that you have to pay for a house, but because the houses are so expensive, like 250 grand, that's like a lot of money. Like in Spain, you can get it for like half or less than half of the price.
Well,
depending where you are, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
But like
Madrid, Barcelona would be different.
5%, 5% of 50 of 25.
Yeah, one of my friends, she just bought a house in Canary Islands, and it was, I don't know how much it was, but she had to pay like the deposit for to the bank, and it was kind of like, not that much. It was like maybe 7,000 or 8,000.
Really?
So, but as well, it was kind of like these houses that she was looking for years just to find a place. So it's really, really difficult. So I don't know what it is, the process of buying a house, but for sure it's really, really tough.
Well, if we keep doing this podcast for
we will
the
get
next 10 years, maybe you'll get to see us get a house.
But I mean, you want to buy a house?
Yes.
I want to buy a house.
Yeah.
But it's really just thinking of, you have a house now, you have an issue, you call your landlord, they fix it.
Yeah.
You have a house and you have paid for the house.
Yes.
You have to fix it and you have to pay. And in a house, always something happens. Boiler breaks, water is not working.
But you can have insurance and they cover that.
Yeah, they cover that, but you have to pay the insurance, which at the end of the day is a lot of money. And in London, the insurance for sure is high.
Everything is high.
Yeah. But yeah, so we know how it is to rent and find a place.
Yes, really
difficult. But at the end of the day, just to let you know, you will find it. And maybe you're not happy, but then maybe you will move to another one. There's always a peace. So there's always a place for you, and you don't have to give up. Because I know people, they just...
Wow, so inspiring.
Yeah. No, people sometimes... they just lose their hope and they go like, okay, I'm gonna go and see the last house, and they go like, oh yeah, the last house was the one. So you never know what's gonna happen, because this house for you, I remember you came to see this house on a Saturday, or what was it?
No, on a work day.
Okay, good. I remember you sent me the text and you were like, oh my god, I think I found the house, I want to take this house, and You did all possible to get this house right away.
But to be honest, this was the third house I saw in like 3 months. Like I wasn't like super hassling for it.
Yeah.
I just went to see 2 houses. I put an offer for one, but it was like way lower, so I knew I wasn't gonna get it. The other one I put the offer straight away, didn't get it. And then this one I was the first person to see it and got it. So that was really cool.
You have to be the first one to see it to get it.
Yeah, it's really tough. It's like a fight sometimes.
That's the slogan.
Yeah.
See it first.
Really cool. See it first, get it first.
That's the only way it works. So, well, you moved to the house. You're happy.
Here I am.
4 months in the house. It's been a long time coming. House is coming along. Almost all deco. You've painted the house as well. You're painting the wall.
Yes, I got stickers now for my bathroom. You know, it's getting slowly along.
It's really,
I
really
have
good.
to do TikToks though. Like, I need to explain what I've done with this house because it's mad.
I think we have to do an episode as well about the TikToks because you started as a joke one day and then now it's like you post a TikTok almost every week or even sometimes 2 a week.
Yeah, wow. Like, if you're like an actual TikToker, you
I
should
know you
publish
mean
like
3
3 a day minimum, yeah.
But their job is that, so maybe they don't have another thing to do and for them it's easy.
Fair enough,
I
yeah.
don't know.
But anyway,
But it's good.
I think that has been a good episode, do you think?
Yeah, it's just the houses, you know, living in London.
Living in London and the challenge of it.
The
But yeah,
challenge.
we will see you next week then.
And perfect.
Yeah.
And you'll have the next episode ready for you in a week. And then just let us know what you think. Give us a good rate. Like we can keep doing
Rating and review, please. 5 stars.
5-star. And that's the podcast for today. Any last words?
Bye. See ya.
Bye.